already sold out Rohan Stronghold box set.
Sold out on the day.
Yeah, as does most Lord of the Rings stuff nowadays.
I have the dice as well.
Yeah.
They're over there.
So so we're gonna open this bad boy, or Ben is there is going to open this, and I'm going to have to behave myself in the corner. I might have to help you at some point. I think you're going to get too excited.
So yeah, obviously, as everybody knows, probably you could pick this up for 150 quid, or you could have picked it up for 150 quid. It is full of just some awesome stuff. 6 buildings you get in there, 2 sets of the Palisade walls with the watchtowers. Absolutely fantastic box. Really, really great value for money as well. If you miss out on picking one up, unfortunate, but definitely pick it up. I've already had a peek just to make sure I've got all the sprues in there, so there's no disappointment. But I am very happy. It is huge. It is heavy as well as it goes. And I'm quite happy on an odd number with the box itself. It is a solid box. Okay? Nice thick box. You won't be able to put the buildings back in it at all, but
I mean, it had to be a solid box, didn't it? I mean, with the weight of sprue in there.
Yeah. So you don't get as much as I thought you might have got something a bit extra in there, a little bit of talky bits, but you get the things like the instructions for everything, and it's very nice as well because as you're going through, you can actually see that there's lots of different parts that are used for lots of different areas of the buildings. So that's that one. And then you obviously got the rules, or not the rules, but the building pamphlet as such for doing this. This is the bit I was quite surprised on. I didn't think it was going to be as big as it is, but effectively each of the wall sections, like these bits here, these are just under 9 inches long. So it's just going to be under about 70 inches worth of wall that you get. So you get a huge amount to be able to surround the entire settlement that is on here. So it's quite nice. So obviously you get a lot of sprue in there, but we'll have a look a bit closer detail using another camera. So this is one of the buildings, or part of the building should I say. You've got I think it's 2 sprue for one building. So you've got obviously the really nice texture pattern on the roof, and then you've got the corner sections and smaller bits of the roofs as well, just to be able to make those corner sections that go over the edge of the building for the doorways. You've got the really nice Rohan symbols of the horse heads on top of the buildings as well. And as I say, there's lots of these bits that are actually sort of modular, and you use them for different bits and pieces. Front sections of the wall and side sections as well. So it's not as long as people think it might have been, but I think these bits are sort of double the length as well. So, and then the door sections come in half, which is quite nice.
Yeah.
Get some nice little bits for fences as well to be able to build. Well, I mean these go around the building itself. If you're just going to make a small one, but you could use these for making pens for horses and other bits and pieces as well. Like maybe some cows. I have some cows.
You do. You love those little cows.
I love the little cows.
I reckon actually having a quick look at that door section, that it wouldn't be too hard to cut the door out without damaging any of the others, even though it's a rounded door.
No, I think you'll find that on the big buildings that they did, these are the sections that they did cut them out. Let's see if we can.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you want to bring in the little Eastling as well, so we can have a look at him for scale against these?
Oh. There you go. So that door there, you would be able to cut down and round, and then you can make the walkway in. And obviously you would use 2 of the sprues for that. For the Eastling, as Ben says, so if you put him next to the door, he's not far off.
No, and even with the walls,
being the right height.
Even with the wall sections there as well. I mean, he's going to I know line of sight's not so important in this as it is in some of the other Games Workshop games, but you're still going to be able to have forces being split up and hidden from each other quite nicely.
Yeah.
With these buildings. Definitely with the palisade, but then.
I mean, I'll just take one of these off. It might be a bit easier. So, yeah, that's going to be one of the building's heights, as it is. So, as you can see, it's going to be the same sort of size, or like the right size for inside of the building.
Yeah, that's
So.
Yeah, so even like you say, with the roof off, you could have the fight going through the buildings as well as.
Yeah, well, I plan on. I'm going to use this to build a bigger version. I know I'm going to get some extra buildings for sure. I want to make a decent board out of this. So I'm going to try and make it that the roofs and things like that will come off, and I'm going to try and find some benches, or I've got a load of balsa wood at home and stuff. I can build my own benches for this and actually kit out the inside with some benches and things. Make a proper internal terrain sort of thing. So
little crock pot in the corner.
Yeah, but I mean, you get all of these, like, just get nice little details. Like these barrels would be pretty good. Obviously,
it comes with a nice bit of scattered terrain on top of everything.
Yeah, random bits of rope that you can stick up on walls as well. See on that, some nice bit. So if you decided that you was going to like potentially turn it into leaving one side of the door, one side of the wall off, you could probably have it so it's like an enclosed stable.
Yeah.
So these bits obviously are huge. Now for me, just because watching the film, if you have a look underneath of all these palisade wall sections, they are actually stood up on bits of stonework. So for me, I might actually clip off these bottom bits and put them into some polystyrene or something that I make into some stone to make that look quite good. I'll just take this one off as well.
I'll just adjust our lovely light, which never wants to stay right next to the camera. There we go-ish. No.
Wouldn't be a Warcast gaming thing without technical difficulties.
Yeah.
So, as I say, these are.
I'll let you adjust it as your.
It's probably better.
Oh. Yeah, it's always the wrong way round. It's like when you're it's like working with a mirror, isn't it? You always sort of.
We'll get there. It doesn't matter. Fisheye lens.
Yeah.
So obviously, that's the building. A side part of the building. You put that next to that, and you look how big those walls are. It is awesome. Now, obviously, put an east thing next to him, and he is tiny. The great thing about these walls, though, is they fit the ladders that you get from the siege.
Yes, I saw the. In fact, I might have even used that as the picture, the thumbnail for the.
It's really good.
Look.
So
that would be him standing.
If you could,
on the...
yeah, I mean, if you, so that's how high they would stand. So they would be able to see quite happily.
How have you let him get up onto your floor?
Well, Rohan did get screwed. But at the same time, it wouldn't be hard or difficult to break these down a little bit either if you wanted to make them slightly smaller sections, because they are quite flimsy, but they've got all the nice little in sections as well for you to be able to put all these walkways, which are designed to be the right size for 25mm bases, which most of the Lord of the Rings is 25mm bases.
I mean, I hope you realise we're going to use this table for like everything.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, it's fantastic. I love it. Each of these. So in the walls and palisade box, you'll get 4 of these sprues. Each one has got one of the main support pillars for obviously the watchtower. Oddly enough, you'll get enough halves of the bell to be able to build 4 bells per set. You only need 2, but you could use those bells for something else. And there are some really nice extra detail bits. Obviously, these bits to go around to match the palisade walls themselves. Like GW have done, I'm probably going to use I'm definitely gonna get myself two more sets of this.
Yeah.
So I can make a nice big area so you can we can do a siege and everything like this. And then I will probably have spares. I'll use the watchtowers as main front gates and stuff.
Because you said you've got 70 odd inches of wall in this box alone.
Yeah, just for if you're literally just measuring that. I mean, as I say, like.
I mean, 70 odd inches of.
That is just shy of 9 inch, 8 3/4 inch. So it's quite a nice section of wall.
I mean, that is enough wall to basically go the length of a table with a gap in the middle of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, there is in amongst this, there is the ability to make the doors as well. So yeah, there you go. So that bit there is the front side of the door. Then you've got the rear side of the door. And along there's beams and things like that, so you can have the doors barricaded. And then you've got the hinges as well that go on the door. You can put these sections in so that it's not necessarily a door.
I mean, I'm quite a big fan of we have a question from I'm going to murder this as I always do. Norzadi.
Norzadi.
He said, "Is the stronghold built yet?" Well,
mine.
No, but I think you're going to get it done tomorrow.
Pretty much. I'll have it pretty much done tomorrow, more than likely.
Yeah. Sorry for any delay because the YouTube, unfortunately, there's a little bit of a delay on the chat. So if you asked us that a little while ago, we do apologise. And hello, I have been to Kuala Lumpur and I love it. You have an amazing country. just throwing it out there. I love Malaysia. It's one of my favourite places.
I will do my best to get it built tomorrow. The thing is, obviously, I want to build the big building. So to build the big building, it's going to take me a little bit of planning and stuff. But I'm off at the moment, so I've got plenty of time to be able to get this done. And yeah, I think the best way for me as well to get it done and get it painted ready for the tabletop, especially because obviously we're looking to do a lot more Lord of the Rings at our gaming club in the new year. I'm probably going to follow what GW have done. I actually think that their painting scheme for this is really, really nice. It definitely looks the part for it. So, but just I'll have the sprue so that you can see it. Be a bit rare.
Yeah, I mean it's because it is just the two different sprues, is it?
Yeah, there's literally two sprues for all of it. They're exactly the same sprue all the way through.
Yeah. But it's amazing that you, with just two sprues, you can build so much different.
Well, I mean, when you look at one sprue, let's get rid of this one. This one sprue with these wall sections on it, this is what allows you to build the little tiny house. Allows you to build a farmhouse. You can build a stables. You can build all sorts of different things, and then you can build the king's, the king's house, essentially,
like the longhouse.
The proper one that you would see obviously in the film. But as I say, if you're looking at this, you get to see there's so much you can do with it. So I'm well chuffed with this kit. Been looking forward to it.
Basically, you're just going to have to do a follow-up video where you show off the finished.
Oh yeah, I will do. Yeah, definitely. I will definitely do. I think. What I might do is I might record a bit of it for purposes of me building it as well. So we'll see.
James has said, "Do you think you'd be able to build the tower into the wall?"
The tower into the wall?
Yeah, so...
was in the palisade, the tower into the palisade wall. Yeah, I don't see why not.
I mean, looking at the box, have a quick look at that, because that looks like those wall sections are...
Well, I mean, they're pretty much sort of just over the top. So if you...
do you want to... Oh, actually, no, that's working, yeah. So they're...
So if you have a look... Oh,
I think the light is
hang on,
going
we'll
to
turn
be
the
killing
light
it.
off.
Yeah.
So if you have a look, the wall sections, the towers are actually just over the top of the wall, the way that GW done it, because then you've still got the runners underneath for the planks. Oh, fantastic.
You okay there?
Yeah, I think so.
So, yeah, I think we're thinking actually that the walls plus the gate would actually reach about 6 foot, wouldn't it? Because if it's about 70 and a length of a 6 foot table is 72 inches.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, if you add in the gate as well, I mean, the gate itself is... where are we? So the gate there, about just shy of an inch. Once you then factor in the size of the gate, the hinges, everything that goes onto it, then the other side of the gate as well.
The gate will be bigger than that because you'll put all those sections together.
Yeah.
So it'll be...
Yeah. Well, so like, if we grab another sprue of the mini sprue, so if we have a look there, so like that's effectively going to be the gate size. I don't think it's going to be much bigger than that.
Yeah, I thought it would be 4 of them.
What, 4 of those?
Yeah, because if the actual set is...
No, because it comes with 2 gates per set of palisade walls. Or like, was it 1 gate? Might be 1 gate.
Maybe,
I might be wrong.
Yeah. Well, you might be able to do it up to...
Let's have a bitch, because I'll tell you where it's going to tell us.
Yes, yeah.
In here.
I mean that would
no. That makes 1 gate.
Yeah.
So 2 lots of that. 2 lots of this section will make 1 gate. So it'll be that wide. So you would be able to get things like 40mm bases, i.e. Rohan horses, through the gate and open them and close them because they have got the ability to be open and closed.
It's going to be so cool.
Yeah. So you can literally, and then the thing is as well, with the gates, they have got somewhere in here. Somewhere there is the ability to be able to show that the gates can be locked. There you go. So on the bottom here, I don't know if you can actually see that. I can't see you live timing it, but
oh yeah, sorry, I've
so
back to the YouTube.
This bit here, there's like a wooden beam that comes separate, which you can actually slide into the gate to show that the gate is locked, so that you could keep it locked. At which point, obviously, if the gate had been broken down or whatever, you can make some rules up. I imagine GW have got some sort of siege rules for it.
I'm bouncing at the moment because this is quite exciting.
But you could go, right, I'll take the beam off, and then you can have the doors open. Or you could be sort of like, okay, well, your settlement has been sieged, they've climbed over the walls or whatever, so you're going to do a final charge out of the settlement, Helm's Deep and charge out. So you spend a turn, say, right, yeah, 1 guy is going to take the beam off or whatever, then they back out of the way, doors open, and out come the Rohirrim. Yeah. I'm looking forward to this.
Yes,
it's been burning a hole in my pocket to open this. I picked it up from my local GW at like 11 o'clock, and obviously I said, no, I'm not going to go through it or anything. I'm just literally going to make sure there's enough sprue, like I've got all the right amount of sprue. But
because even just opening up the box, you were getting excited about stuff, and it's like, no, you need to like...
Yeah.
Because it's harder to see the same stuff just off the camera as what we are getting from it now. So your excitement helps convey how cool some of this stuff is.
I mean, you look at that beam there. That's the beam that goes to close the door itself. So that beam in itself it shows you how big the door is. So the door is around... I don't know why they're not doing everything in 4 inches, but there you go. Well, I suppose it's scale-wise. But that beam itself is about 2 3/4 inches. So that's pretty big. In terms of gaming, yeah, you're looking at just being shy of 650mm and 40mm bases.
Yeah.
Easy get through 1 at a time, but very close to each other. And you'll get 2 blokes, 2 actual standard models through at a time. So you could have, like the Uruk-hai have the battering ram.
Yeah.
You could have that model opening the
I'm
gates.
going to have to buy some more Eastlings to give them siege equipment, right?
I've got
Models, some of them carrying ladders and.
Well, I think I'm probably going to have more Rohirrim. No, not Rohirrim. Sorry, Rohan foot soldiers, because I have a lot of Rohirrim already. I think I've got like 30 odd of the Rohirrim, so I'm covered on that one.
I mean, I think this kit for a fort kit is probably the best one that they've ever brought out now.
Yeah, I mean, you had the old Warhammer Castle, which I have the old Warhammer Castle, and I'm trying to repurpose that as well into the walls of either Helm's Deep or being able to use as Minas Tirith.
Yeah. So you've got sections like that. Then you had the Helm's Deep gate.
Yeah, they brought out the Helm's Deep model ages ago now, and if you can buy one, you've obviously got some decent amount of money because they are stupidly expensive.
I know someone who's got one who wants us to be able to use it.
Oh.
Yeah, I know.
Well, we are going to be doing Helm's Deep. We might have to run a campaign and film it all to be able to do from Edoras, say when Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli all turn up. Even when Gandalf turns up, perhaps on the way there,
I'm going to have to be the bad guy the entire time.
Damn right, I own the model, the good guy models, but it can't always be Eastling, so you're going to have to buy yourself some Dunedain.
So yeah, we've got these, and then the next fort model I can think of that Games Workshop brought out was the. Where are you running off to?
I'm just grabbing something else.
Grabbing something else. The other thing, the other fort models that Games Workshop brought out that I thought was amazing was the Dreadfort stuff.
Yep.
That's really nice, but it's nothing in comparison to this.
Well, I mean, the Dreadfort stuff, it was very nice. Don't get me wrong. The downside with the Dreadfort stuff is it is huge. Massively spiky, so it is only literally purpose built for one thing. Yeah. This,
you could get away with it being the Black Gate, maybe.
It's a bit big.
Or even for the Black Gate.
It is a bit big, even for the Black Gate. But obviously, I had to also get myself. And I'm sorry for anyone who does watch this and doesn't get to see these because they didn't get them or whatever. I had to get myself 2 lots of these. 2 lots of the dice, and they are fantastic. While I was in the shop picking up my order, someone else had picked up 6 lots of the dice, but that was mainly because they wanted to make sure that they got some. Let me just open these up so people can have a bit of a closer look.
So our. I'm going to let you say the name again because I will murder it again.
Oh, I don't want to murder it. No.
Is it Norzadi? Norzadi? You bought 2 of these boxes. You lucky git.
Are you saying you bought 2 of these like Stronghold boxes?
Because that's awesome. You're really because I mean you think that
really would have loved to have done.
Yeah, same here. But yeah, so the wall would be. I mean, you are going to be able to do a full-on stronghold with the wall.
Yeah, well, just as it stands with the buildings that I have, along with the one scratch-built building that I've got as well, I am going to be able to do quite a bit.
I reckon more than anything though, the thing that I would love to get more of for this is loads of like brilliant scattered terrain. Crates, barrels. I know they've got some on the sprues already. But,
yeah. There's loads on the sprue, but it's going to take a little bit of searching to try and find some worthy third party.
Yeah, because you're going to want something like a little blacksmith.
Yeah.
Because that would be really cool.
Yeah, well, I mean,
anvil and
like I say, I'm gonna kit out the internals of this building, so I'm gonna have to stick it on a board as well. I know that Seeley would love me to do it properly as well, so it'd be, raised up a bit on some stone, then put the building on it, steps going up to it. So while I'll probably get this built, it's going to take some time to actually get the whole thing done properly. Because like I say, I'm going to have to find all the internal parts. I'm going to have to find, work out the potential for like what the building is internally. Because obviously you see in the film,
as well, you're going to need, you're going to have to be doing some really cool flock and grass and things, because I don't think your mat's not going to cover it for that, is it? If you're doing a
Well, no, not necessarily, but it's just finding all the parts. I mean, it shouldn't, like, to get the whole thing built properly. It won't take me too long, but and then to paint it as well, just airbrushing it a little bit and going from there. But I mean, it's going to be really good for these games. I think it's going to be really good for any other games that we play that are Fantasy 28mm based as well. I'm definitely looking forward to putting this down on the table and watching everybody go, oh, we could add one. And I know for a fact that I'm getting 2 more buildings because my sister let that slip.
Yeah.
But she had to make sure she was getting the right thing for me for Christmas.
The joy of this hobby.
Hopefully my family will like turn around and go, oh yeah, what do you want? And I just go, here's the link, buy me these. Yeah. I really only need 2 more of the Palisade walls. I don't need much more than that. There's just so much on those sprues. It's crazy. But the buildings definitely need more buildings. Yeah. So, and obviously we love to be able to support our Games Workshop and everything like that. But the trouble is, I need them cheap.
Yes, yeah.
And I know somewhere I can get them £10 cheaper than what GW is selling them for. So I will have to go to those for most of it. Yeah. I will be also looking into getting some extras for models and things. So obviously Grimball came out with his little entourage. I need Eckenbrand, I need Errol. I need them all. They just literally just need them all. So what are we doing?
Don't worry.
So yeah, in the new year we're definitely going to have to do some sort of campaign for this. I've got the War and Rohan book coming as well. We'll have to go from there.
Yes, well, definitely. I think if we go through the
what are we looking?
Norzadi said, going to borrow your idea on the blacksmith shop. Yeah, well, that's. I mean, I tell you what. The thing that I'm being inspired by, but I think I'm being inspired by it because it was inspired by the Lord of the Rings films, is the Skyrim locations. Because in Skyrim, obviously, you had blacksmiths, and very similar style, wooden palisade buildings on top of hills. Because it's, whether it was influenced by the Lord of the Rings films or not, they all come from a very similar sort of theme of sort of Nordic, Germanic hill forts and blacksmiths, stables.
Well, there's plenty of models out there that I've seen at a third party that would tie in with Rohan looking parts from GW, but they are obviously not GW's models, but I've seen some models that are blacksmiths, and you can get little anvils and you get all sorts of things like that. So I'd love to do things like that. Kit out a whole 6-foot board. Yeah. This is what I'm thinking for this. Have a nice big sort of area where, on a 6-foot table you've got this large area is all this fort stuff, and then a larger area that is open that you can have horses running out on. You can have different objectives outside in the field. So you could have, I don't know, some of the over the hills come a load of warg riders and stuff, and you've got a load of the
so you can effectively you could have two parts of the battle. You could have 2 objectives happening for the good guys. One is to hold their fort, but also maybe to protect some of the civilians who are running towards the fort.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. Rohan on top of the walls, shooting bows off of the sides of these palisades. Yeah. Those warg riders or any orcs or orcs even, or or even the Dunedain, like all of that sort of stuff. They ain't got to worry about Rohan shooting.
No,
because strength 2 bows that are 24-inch range.
But
I hardly ever heard anything.
It will be slightly thematic. And
that's what I'm going for. Yeah.
And worst case scenario, I mean, as long as the stuff is transportable, we can always do it here because it's a squeeze, but we can do an 8-foot by 6-foot in here. And
I don't think it needs more than a 6-foot really, because otherwise you just get it too much. I mean, you have to remember obviously how the games go. So turn by turn sort of thing. But I mean, anyone else got any questions or anything they want to know more about the sprue?
Well, I'll give us a couple of minutes on the question, because obviously with the lag on YouTube. In fact, I can probably tell you what the lag is. That's showing 29, whereas we are showing as, where does it tell me how long we've been running? It's only about a 30-second lag onto YouTube.
Oh, that's not too bad then.
Yeah, that's much better than our normal sort of. Like later on, we'll be streaming, and I reckon the lag on that will probably pick its way up to about 5 minutes towards the end.
Oh, I don't know. But yeah, we will be doing another stream later tonight, and then obviously we've got our stream tomorrow.
Yep.
And perhaps, because obviously I'll have my camera on and all that tomorrow, if I've got some, I'll show you some progression as to how far I've got tomorrow at 9 o'clock.
Yes.
I think I've made my mind up as well that as of tomorrow, obviously I will be building this, kicking the missus out the front room, and extended editions of Lord of the Rings shall be put onto the TV. So how much I will get built, who knows? I have got a present in the form of my little shoulder pad marines that I've been doing. That if you check out my Instagram, Warcast Bear, you'll see them on there. I've got to get those done because I need to get them sent off before Christmas, so a friend gets them. But I'm pretty sure that at this stage, that friend who would be commenting on Twitch would also turn around and say, "Do you know what? Get this done more than his present." This would make him more happy.
And he does realise that that's basically inspired you to make more of those, doesn't he?
Oh, I will make more of those. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, the love for the Babby Marines is amazing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no. Well, I mean that's the thing. If anyone is watching right now who has liked my Instagram and is obviously part of it or whatever, or anyone does watch this from YouTube, I can't thank you guys enough for the amount of likes that just went through on that one picture. I know that a lot of it's come through from Spaced UK or Spaced_UK. I'll give a bit of a shout out to him because he reposted my picture and it has gone nuts. We didn't expect to have sort of that level of people going, "Whoa, your stuff is amazing," this quick at all, did we?
No, not at all.
I'm
adding you into the links.
Warcast Bear, yeah.
Just like that, no gap.
No gap.
Excellent.
So yeah, and then in the last 48 hours I've had like just over 20 new followers, which for us only doing this for 4 months.
Yeah.
About 4 months.
I mean that was it was almost a 20% increase on your followers.
Yeah, and most of my followers are obviously because it's my Instagram chat from just normal life. I've got a fair few people on there just friends from Facebook, but even they've liked a lot of my stuff. A lot of people have. So all of you people who are supporting me, I'm blown away. Thank you very much.
You've got. We thought that the Black Sea stuff was like good for us, but then Little Marine was like.
Turns
boom!
out, little shoulder pad Marines. That's the way to go.
Yeah.
What's he said?
Oh, he said trendsetter.
Yeah. No, because this is the thing, right? A lot of the things I've done recently, I've had ideas from stuff that Sealy UK has said.
Don't give him credit. He will get a big ego.
he's already got it.
Eventually, he's going to come on a stream here, and he's just going to be like, "I am the king."
He won't come on the camera. We've got more chance of the Queen joining us, which would be nice. So if Queenie, you are listening,
we can.
Pop along, play some Lord of the Rings with us. That'll make Sealy lose his mind. But I don't know what more to say. To be fair, it's a fantastic sprue.
I mean,
just literally,
you looking at the little roof one.
I'm just looking at this, right? And I don't know how well you guys can see this, but just look at the level of detail for the straw on that. I was thinking the teddy bear furring these roofs. Okay, that's what I did with my old one. So I bought 3 foot by 3 foot square of teddy bear fur, and I just stick it onto the top of the roof because obviously I did it on my homemade one. You stick it on the roof and then put a load of PVA glue into it and comb it through, and it gives you that sort of texture. But this actually is looking fantastic. I was a bit sceptical about this, and this is the only bit I was sceptical about, but it's coming out really nicely. Very happy with this.
North80 has subbed on YouTube, so thank you very much for following us. And yeah, I don't know how early in the day you'll have anything up. It will probably be when we do our live stream.
I might post a couple of pictures through the day of how I'm doing things on my Instagram. So follow me on my Instagram, which is obviously just go onto Instagram and look for Warcast Bear. Yeah. Look for Warcast Gaming as well, because obviously to the pair of us.
So it will show up on the screen now. That is Warcast Bear. That's what you need to look for on.
Yeah.
On
it could be a capital W, capital B, but I don't think it should really.
I don't think it matters on Instagram.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's do a quick run through. So out of 5 looks
7. It's a solid 7 out of 5.
Yeah. And then the ability to expand.
Oh God, no! Well, even using balsa wood, I have plans because I can use balsa wood for the extra pillars and things. So yeah, there's huge amounts of expandability on this. Huge amounts.
Yeah, I think this is it. I mean, even if Games Workshop bring out no more kits for this, doesn't matter. There's enough stuff.
Yeah.
With this kit, and it's without detracting from the style. It's not like a lot of Age of Sigmar stuff or 40k stuff where it's got such a distinct style that nothing else goes with it unless it's specifically made to match it.
Yeah, I mean this isn't the right scale for this. Age of Sigmar terrain doesn't really fit scale wise for Lord of the Rings, because Lord of the Rings is 28mm scale, whereas the AOS and 40k is 28mm heroic.
Yeah.
So if you are looking for anything, obviously to go with this, it would be 28mm. Now I know there are companies out there who have got Viking style buildings which are designed for Lord of the Rings. However, obviously due to copyright laws, But I mean, I was just literally looking at this, simplifying it down, thinking of blacksmith, thinking stable, thinking buildings for where people live, and the king's buildings. I literally looked at this piece here and then went, that's the bit that goes onto the side of the house for the entrance into the house, where you've got this piece as well. Now, if you don't use that on the side of the house, because obviously you're building a really big building or whatever, right? And bear with me, using these bits as well, potentially, you can build a toilet. I know it's a really sort of weird thing to look at, but it's like a dunny.
Yeah.
Because obviously they wouldn't have it in their house, they would have a...
With narrative things, I hate to say it, but it is one of the most important things to think about when you're designing any world or any situation is, where do people go for a shit? Because, because that is an added level of realism.
Yeah. Yeah, just that little bit of thing on the side, or even like a shop or things like that. I'm gonna have to do a shop.
Do a little like a tiny kiosk. I know it probably doesn't fit the theme, but
it needs to be like a little stall inside.
Sausage on a stick seller. So look, 5 out of 5.
7 out of 5.
7 out of 5. I'm gonna call it 5 out of 5. Today it's me having to control your hype. Expandability, definitely 5 out of 5.
Yeah, definitely 5 out of 5. Yeah, literally, you buy that one house and you can make all sorts of stuff out of it.
And then cost, now...
So the cost for this, as this box goes, that you can no longer purchase. So as this cost, £150, British sterling, right? As that costs, phenomenally good value for money. Okay, bearing in mind that the houses themselves are £29. The palisade walls and the watchtower are £40. Either which way, from GW, still fantastic value for what it is. Happily buy again, but because I need so much of it, I'm going to go elsewhere. And the fact that I can go elsewhere and get both of the boxes £10 cheaper for what you get in it, and the ability to be able to build all sorts of stuff, looking at 19 quid from one place that I found. It's one of the best value kits I've seen. I mean, the downside is you look at this and you go, oh yeah, I can get this 19 quid, or I can get it for even at £29. And then you look at Grimbold and his 2 followers that you've got, and he is 18 quid. Granted, you only need to buy him once, so he's going to have to cost a bit more because, you know, they're not going to sell as many as these houses. If they'd have bought these out at 20 quid a pop,
yeah,
spend a year's wages on it.
And this is the thing with the when you're doing scenery, when you're doing a big board of scenery, you can do stuff cheaply. You can do stuff really cheap. But the reason why these kits are the kind of price that they are, and like you're saying, they are cheap for what they are, is because the amount of work that goes in to doing terrain cheaply and making it look good is huge.
Well, I mean, you look at this. So this sprue is 1 sprue, but I've got, I can't remember how many's in there. Like 12 sprues for this 1 sprue in there. Okay. This 1 sprue needs a mould made for it. It gets its mould made, costs X amount of money, right? The reason this is only £29 is because they can sell this at such a volume. They make the mould back, they then make the profit enough to be able to pay the designer, they make enough money back to be able to do all the advertising, payback, everything like this, and then they make profit on top. You look at the Rhino is only £20.
Yeah.
£22.50. Well, no, sorry, £22.50 for a Rhino now. £25 for a Razorback, which is just with an extra sprue. That extra sprue in itself. Yeah. That's another mould they have to make. So
yeah, the Rhino itself is what, 2 sprues, I think.
I think it's 3.
Was it 2 and a small one?
Yes,
because
2 and
it's got the cup holder.
Yeah. Which obviously is a sprue also in the Land Raider kit. But you look how long that sprue has been around now. That sprue has been around since about 2000. And so, you know, you're looking at practically 20 years for that. That model paid itself off within 2 years. And it has just been pure profit. This, I can see this going for like a good 5 years. People are still buying lots of it.
You mentioned, mentioning the Lake Town one, and the fact that the Lake Town one has the little house with it.
Yeah.
Now, that's been out for a while now as well, isn't it? And that's still...
Yeah, it's been out quite a while.
Yeah, so it's definitely... We can definitely expect...
Well, don't get me wrong, I'd quite like to have the Lake Town houses as well, because those you could use for a more walled city. So for Minas Tirith or Osgiliath or something like that. But again, this is now going to be a problem for me. Because I'm going to build this, and then I'm going to go, right now I need an Osgiliath sort of style board. I now need a just inside the Minas Tirith board, and I'll need some sort of like Lake Town, which is more of a built-up human town than a sort of in the field stables.
If there's anyone from Games Workshop watching, you have broken this man.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, just give me a job again and bring me up to a design studio, and I'll just sit here and build things all day with these kits. And you won't be upset. Well, you might do because the amount of stuff I use, but it'll be cool.
Right. So I think we have 5.
Cost-wise, 5.
Yeah. I think for a plastic terrain kit, this is good.
Yeah.
I mean, especially this box. This box.
Well,
what do we work it out as? There are
2 sets of palisade walls, so that's 80 quid, and then 6 buildings in there, so that's 120 quid. What is it? 6 9s, God almighty, brain died. 18, 36, 40, 54 quid there. So it's 164 quid for just the buildings. So the 2 palisade walls and half a building is free.
I'll do.
You can't complain on that, especially with the amount of palisade walls you get. Christ.
Yeah, because I think we both, when we first looked at it, we were like, "Oh wow, palisade wall, awesome!" And then we both looked and went, "Oh, actually, it doesn't look like that much of it." But
no,
it is.
I thought it was only going to be like 2 of those sort of sprues, really.
But it's 4 per kit.
I was massively surprised.
In here.
And then dice as well. Can't go wrong with dice. That now
They
means
are
I
one
have.
of the best dice.
Well, it now means I have every single set of dice, and I have the king, the ring, and the army of the dead, and these Isengard ones in double amount. Not because I'm going to try and scalp them, but because you need more dice.
Yeah.
You just need loads of dice.
Being 2 elite players, throwing a big cluster of dice is always quite a lot of fun.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Or struggling to hold all the
especially-
dice.
Especially because, as a little tidbit from War of Rohan that I heard about earlier today.
Because you're not getting that till tomorrow, unfortunately, are you?
Probably not tomorrow.
You changed your mind at last minute. And then
I
bought
don't know. It depends. It all depends on the website as to whether or not they've sent it out today.
Is this what our
Or
news stream
yesterday.
tomorrow is basically going to be? You going, look at this thing.
Well, Games Workshop are not bringing out anything good enough tomorrow that's going to compare to Lord of the Rings. But yeah, for the Lord of the Ring, for the War and Rohan book, I did hear a bit from a guy who's got the EPUB whilst I was in my local G-Dubs. So one big bugbear I've had with Rohan is the lack of spears, because they have plenty of throwing spears, but one of the legendary armies, I think it is, they are actually going to be having some of the throwing spears count as spears.
Yeah, I had heard that.
And so basically, look out for Rohan Royal Guard standing there with spears and shield, backing up standard Rohan guys, with Haleth standing behind them, getting free might from gambling every turn with his banner, going, I'm going to do a point of might to make those Rohan Royal Guard fight 5, and then just making them hard as nails and just being how they should be.
Yeah.
It's just a shame that they're now very expensive for mounted Rohan Guard. Well, they were £8.70 per guy, and then they put 3 of them together for £30.
Yeah, so I have heard I have heard this complaint, but I play the bad guys, so.
Yeah, well, you deserve to be squashed.
Well, so we're looking at 5 out of 5 here, aren't we? You don't touch the Easterling.
Cut in half.
So for 5 out of 5 for this
Yep.
kit, even 5 out of 5 for the rest of the kits without the discount.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
So, as we haven't had any other questions on this, I will just triple check YouTube.
Thanks, guys, for tuning in anyway.
Yes, yeah, thank you
I know
very
it's
much.
obviously in the afternoon and all that, and not everyone's going to be able to watch it, but if you watch it on YouTube, thank you very much for watching on there as well. We're massively appreciating the support as it is at the moment.
Yeah. And also with the YouTube side of things, you might have seen that there were some of the chat was showing up on the stream. That is from Twitch. So if you ever want to watch us on Twitch, whatever you say in the chat will go straight onto the screen as well. Obviously, we attempt to moderate anything particularly nasty on there, but can't always catch it.
We try not to swear too much on these types of streams either, as well.
Yes, yeah, we do try our best. I mean, it's quite difficult sometimes.
When it gets to the painting stream and the gaming, any sort of
I
gaming
think,
stream, that's when it does get a little bit sweary.
But yeah, so apart from doing occasional things like this, we have a regular Sunday night show. Unfortunately, it's 9:30 GMT. No, 9 o'clock GMT.
Yeah,
7:30 is
9 PM GMT.
But all of this stuff always gets put up on the YouTube channel. The Sunday show is basically going over tabletop and wargaming news from the week. It tends to be very Games Workshop heavy because Games Workshop stuff tends to be the stuff that we will play, and Games Workshop they've got the heaviest release schedule of anyone. So even in a week where Warlord Games produce more than they've ever produced, Games Workshop are probably still going to outdo.
Yeah, more than likely.
So there's that. And general news, I will shove on here quickly. We have you just playing with your dice on the camera.
I've just realised that as I'm looking at that screen over there, so I apologise. Anyone who was mesmerised by me playing with dice. Where am I going to go? Where am I going to go?
So as we put up, well, actually, all of the links will be on the YouTube after this.
Yeah. So basically, we've got Warcast Gaming on Twitch. There's Warcast Gaming on YouTube. It's not hard to find them. You just got to type them into the search bar, and it will bring us up. And obviously, it will have our little logo on it. There's the Warcast Gaming Instagram. There's my Warcast Bear Instagram, which doesn't always just have models and stuff. My sister got engaged, so obviously that's been up there. And it was my 30th birthday the other day, so there's a picture of my dinosaur cake up there.
Yes, yeah, that was really good actually.
Well, not the dinosaur cake from my actual party, but the because no one's giving me pictures of it.
I was too busy.
And then there's other, and then we've got obviously on Facebook Warcast Gaming on there as well. And that's it. We don't have anything else, do we? Really?
No. But more than anything, it's that every Sunday we do the show, new show, and we basically the Instagram and the Facebook are where you will see if we're doing anything more ad hoc like this.
Yeah, I mean, we generally try to do an extra painting session every 2 weeks. Yeah. But this week it's not a painting session; it is a gaming session for Cool Mini or Not's Zombicide Black Plague, with addition of Wolfenstein, which is probably a bad idea because the Wolfenstein edition has the wolves and the wolf abomination, and they move very, very quick, and we're probably going to die.
Yeah, I mean, we're probably going to die anyway because knowing the group tonight, we're almost certainly going to.
Yeah. So there's the 3 normal people who are part of it tonight. So there's myself, obviously, and Ben, other Ben, and then we've got the No Soul Ginger Steve, and then. We've also got Gail, who has been a serious commenter.
Yes, yeah.
After 10 o'clock on our painting streams, so it should be quite good.
Well, I think we'll call it an end here.
We'll be back in like 3 hours.
Yeah, and special thanks to Norzadir, who I'm guessing probably won't be watching us later, as he says it's basically 10 to midnight in Malaysia. Unsurprisingly, as it's
so 3 hours time you will be in bed, but never fear, because obviously as you've heard, you can always catch up with it on YouTube.
Yes, yeah,
and on YouTube you can also just skip.
Yes.
So if you get to a point where you go, oh god, you guys are annoying and boring, we just hit the skip.
They seem to be arguing about something. Oh, dear. No, actually,
there will be a lot less arguing over rules and stuff tonight. I will be making sure of it. Because if we go, I can't think of that rule, then we'll go,
roll the dice.
We'll just go on with it.
Yeah. So like I said, special thanks to Norzadir for following us, and then following us on Instagram as well.
Cheers for your input, Seeley.
Yes, yeah. Always special thanks to James. Actually, he's normally quite nice.
He sits in the shadows and he hides.
Yeah, always make sure that we've always at least got someone viewing.
As long as it's Lord of the Rings, he is there. So.
Oh, we can always have like a, no matter what the subject is, we could always just do a little Lord of the Rings segment just for him.
It's just like, it's not the way Gimli would have done it.
So, thank you very much, guys. I have been Warcast Bear.
Warcast Bear.
So we will see you next time for more fun and games.